My boyfriend's daughter hates me. Am I the reason their family fell apart? Okay. Buckle up. Because this is a doozy. I'm not even sure where to start. But the guilt is eating me alive. I need to know if I'm a total monster. So here's the whole messed up story. My name is your name and I'm 27. I met Chase 33 at the park. I was wrangling my niece, nephew, and a gaggle of younger cousins when I noticed him and his wife, Willow, having a major blow-up. Their kids were playing nearby, oblivious thankfully. But the air was thick with tension. I overheard Willow snapping at him about forgotten diapers. Willow was asking Chase where the diapers were. I couldn't help but feel bad for Chase. For kids is a lot. But the way she was talking to him, it felt wrong. I offered to lend him a diaper since Willow stormed off. We struck up a conversation and that was that. We connected on Facebook and Instagram soon after. And Willow even invited Chase and I to have drinks together as friends. One night while Willow was in the bathroom after drinking her fill, she told me that she still had problems going, and I replied I felt bad and said, "Don't worry, if she can't treat you right then I will." I said it jokingly and winked at him. Fast forward a few months, and things got complicated. Jane, age 15, saw me and Chase cuddling on the sofa while watching TV. She ran to her mother and Alex, age 18, was asking why his mom was yelling at his dad, until Jane pointed at me and said it was my fault. Willow started screaming, accusing me of breaking up her family and stealing her husband. If you care so much about the kids, then why did you break up their family? I finally found happiness after such a rough life I went through, and you ruined it. Just turn off. Just because you're jealous, and you couldn't find anyone. So you had to steal people away from others. The kids were traumatized. The younger ones were just scared. Then Willow started crying and apologizing to the children for making them watch. But she didn't mean to upset. I tried to calm things down. But then Jane called me a fat pig and told me to get lost. I apologized and explained to her that it wasn't appropriate. Call me a fat pig and told me to get lost. She stormed off to her bedroom. How does a 7-year-old know such details? From there, Chase and I got kicked out and he filed for divorce on December. It was a total disaster. Eventually Chase and Willow ended up getting 50-50 as custody of the kids, Alex 18, Chelsea 15, Jane 7, and little Jessica. They ended up moving in with me since I have more space. Here's where I really messed up. I think I wanted to make the kids feel welcome. So I wanted to welcome the kids by giving them a hug. And told me she didn't want me here, and she only came because she was forced to. I even got each of them a teddy bear, with their names whereupon on them by my sister as a welcome gift. Jane, though, Jane has been a nightmare. When they first got to my house, I gave them their teddy bears with their names on it, which I got whereupon by my sister. You're just for them with my own money. Chase offered to okay, but I refused. I thought it wouldn't hurt to give the kids a small. Jane told me she hated the teddy bears and they look. She said she has her own one that mommy gave and mommy's one was better. Why is she acting like her mom's personal therapist? It's not her job to look after her mom's feelings, and I said that. She doesn't need to look after her mom. I don't have to, and it's her job. Jane came running back down to sit on the sofa. She used her fingers to go through the son of teddy bear and rip. Every time she sees me, she snarls. What are you doing here? I don't want you here. She throws tantrums until I have to leave family events in tears. She even skips her siblings' activities if I'm going to be there. Willow rubs it into, constantly saying things like, "You should have thought about that before breaking up the family." Last month, it all came to a head on Chelsea's birthday. I showed up with Chase and she began screaming and crying and said she doesn't want me here, and I ruined her birthday. She grabbed my prez. It was the worst. Me and Chase were cussed out by the entire adult for breaking up the family and manipulating Chase along with Chase. Chase tried to sue for parental alien, but the judge said unless she's sleeping over her mom's during play custody agreements. I tried to call a therapist yesterday ages ago and the therapist said she doesn't have to not hate me if she doesn't want to, as long as I just don't know how to handle this anymore. Update 1. I thought it would be a good idea to hire a babysitter to watch over Chase's children while we go out to a restaurant out of our local area. Chase had some rules: are not allowed fizzy drinks and are not allowed to drink or invite people to our home. That sounds reasonable in my opinion. I set out a packet of cress and a bowl of fruit and I also made some cheesecake. I let her know not to serve them all at once. I even got juice cartons. I gave her a list of instructions, and then me and Chase took off. I came back 2 hours later, lights of Smarties, 3 packets. Chelsea had Coke dripping down her shirt and chocolate around her mouth. I wondered where one upstairs and one downstairs in the living room, and she was in the one in the living room. Jessica is being introduced to Soul, but she can only eat apples and bananas if they are cut up. Stop. Which is what was said on the paper. Chase, immediately you took the banana off Jessica, which led to her. Chase would have let the babysitter off with a warning had it just been the Coke or the 3. The babysitter bought a can of beer and drank at her home and left the children home on their own. Chase was understandably mad and fired the babysitter on Spotify, only giving her half of the money. That I think she should be getting if we're going out while leaving the children on their own with Jane. 2. Look. It shouldn't be babysitting younger children. Anything could have happened to his kids. It's not like Chelsea and Jane were for a short while, but a 5-year-old. Once the babysitter left, we went back up to put the children to bed. Chelsea and I took her to the dining room to the next to the kitchen to change, turn off the chocolate around their mouth. Update 2. Recently his ex got mad because she couldn't afford to get her son a Lego play custody, because his mom wouldn't get it because it was. He asked me why his mom can't afford toys over £10, and I told him don't worry, some people can't afford nice, but it's okay, wait for you instead, since I got enough money. They don't hate her. I'm not falling for that. You know what, chat with me and try to turn the kids against me, then they will be serious. She said goodbye to my boyfriend's kids and headed home. My boyfriend's me and his father said to not worry and nothing will happen. We said he can play with it if he wants. He doesn't touch the Lego set now because he's scared that his mother will get upset. It's just a toy. Update 3. My boyfriend and his children are going abroad on December to visit his family. For one of them is a baby. What can I bring to put a baby to sleep, and how can I put a baby to sleep on a plane? What have you done to soothe a crying baby on plane or put a baby to sleep on a plane? Story 2. Am I wrong for being up because my boyfriend is buying more expensive gift? Play 18. I said sure that half of the money for the plane ticket, but he wouldn't let me no matter what. But now he can afford to buy his mother expensive. I'm not trying to sound rotten or spoiled, I just don't understand why I'm getting the short end of the stick when he had told me he wouldn't be able to afford anything crazy. Update 1. Update. We both do agree that I should go to therapy a bit more, since the only reason why it affected me so much, which was because I did not have the capabilities to understand why his relationship it was. So, Reddit. Tell me the truth. Am I the villain in the story? Did I handle this as badly as I think I did? Is there any hope of salvaging my relationship with Jane? Or am I forever destined to be the woman who broke up their family in her eyes? Be honest. I can take it. What would you do in my situation? And what steps should I take now to try and make things right? If that's even possible. Let me know your thoughts on this whole messed up situation.